Welcome to the dark pool. Yeah, the dark pool. Before we begin though, let me just put up this slide just in case there's any lawyers. Are there any lawyers in the house? Anybody with a law degree? Let's see. Usually there's one in the crowd. Michael, there we go. We have a lawyer. This is for you, Michael. The market is highly manipulated by the dark pool. This is my risk disclaimer. Please look it over. There is a high degree of risk involved, especially if you're not following the dark pool. So welcome. Yep. Welcome to the dark pools. Today I may be changing the way you probably are going to view the world. I know, the world, that's pretty powerful, especially the financial system, the stock market. You know, Wall Street and Main Street are two separate entities. Yeah, they're two different things. Main Street could be really ugly, as we know, and Wall Street could be going up. Or Main Street could be doing well and Wall Street is going down. So not too many people are going to tell you that Wall Street is rigged and manipulated, but I have proof. And today I'm going to be showing that with you. So I know that many of you probably don't want to believe this. I know it's really hard to believe that the world isn't fair, right? We don't live in a fair place. But guess what? If you want to be a successful trader, you have to have an edge. And today I'm going to be introducing you to my edge. I'm going to expose you to some forms of manipulation that Wall Street uses. Not all of them, but there are a lot more. And I'm going to teach you how to profit off this manipulation. So I definitely know things that I shouldn't know. And as many of you know, I have secrets, right? In fact, I shared quite a few of them in my book. I want to give you guys a free copy. Yeah, if you don't have one already, go ahead to the Dark Pools, darkpoolsecrets.com. Yep, darkpoolsecrets.com. If you live in the US, you can get a free copy. You just have to pay for shipping. Now, if you live outside the US, guess what? I will personally send you a book, but you have to go to my website, thedarkpools.com, and there is a $49.99 fee that includes shipping, and I will even autograph it for you and send it out. But if you're in the US, yeah, my marketing team is sending them out for free. Just have to pay for shipping. So many of you probably saw my commercial on CNBC, Fox Business News. Maybe you saw my book advertised on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram. You know, my traders did not want me to write this book. Nope, they actually begged me not to. Don't do it, don't share the secrets. I share a lot of stuff, and I'm happy to share a lot of this stuff with you so that us smaller retail investors and traders can have an edge, because I was so sick of watching the big institutions fake everybody out every single day when I was actually seeing what they were doing behind the scenes. And I'm going to share that with you. Now, I obviously didn't share everything in the book. I couldn't. But if you're in my trading room, yeah, you pretty much know everything. So I've been calling pretty much every major move in the stock market for 26 years now, whether it's on social media, my trading room, my dark pool app. And people thought that I was psychic for a while until I started to share my secret. I don't really have a crystal ball. It's the dark pool. Yeah, this is really the secret to my success. In fact, I have a 90% documented success rate on my Whisper of the Day recommendations. If you have my dark pool app, those are the trades that I post in the morning for you. And I've called the last 18 out of 18 corrections before they've happened on Twitter, StockTwits, my trading room, my app. I've also spotted a lot of insider trading. Look, I don't know what's going on in the world, but all I know is we see big prints and then the news comes out afterwards, like every single time. There's thousands of examples. And I've also, this is the scary part, I've also seen trades before major terrorist attacks, trades on fear. And I've actually shared this in my book. In fact, my publishers did not want me to share it. They actually told me to take it out, and they didn't think it was a good idea to put it in the book. But you want to know something? Don't you guys think that you deserve to know this? You know, and there was massive prints on fear, and I didn't know what was going on. We weren't having a correction at the time. This was, where's my book? Let's see, hold on. This is in chapter, I think I would know, this is either 9 or 10. To the last. Chapter 10, The Darkest Pools, What Nobody Else Will Tell You. And yeah, there was a massive terror attack. And again, we were not having a correction. I didn't know what to make of these prints on fear because we only get them when a correction is going to happen, usually. But you'll see if you get the book. Yeah, that was not what happened. So anyway, how did I learn about the dark pool? Right? I mean, not too many people knew about this in 2013 when I started posting dark pool prints on social media, on StockTwits and Twitter. That's when I opened up my account. And people were like, what is that? I thought everybody knew about it. I really did, because that's the only thing I knew. You know, I started out in 1994. Yeah, a long time ago. I started out as a trader's assistant at Schoenfeld Securities, which is the largest prop firm in New York. And I'll never forget, it was the summer of 1994. I got hired. It's a long story. I share it in my book. I went to happy hour and I landed a job. I know many of you that's probably happened, right? Go to happy hour and get a job. Maybe 1 or 2, 3 of you. Well, it happened, and I'm not going to go into it, but it was the best day of my life. It changed my career. And I started as Scotty's assistant. He was one of the $1 million traders at the largest prop firm in New York, Schoenfeld Securities. And I didn't know anything about the market. And Scotty sat me down in front of this machine, supercomputer called an Instanet machine. It was my job. He said, Steph, you're going to do all the orders for the entire table on this Instanet machine. I didn't know what it was. And I said, okay. And he just showed me what to do. How do you put the order in? And I said, okay. And then he said, well, this is where all the big guys are loaded to buy and sell. So let us know if you see a huge bid, a huge offer before you do our trade for us. I said, okay. And he just showed me what that was. It really wasn't that difficult. And I saved my table thousands of dollars every single day, because this is where the dark pool liquidity was. So you never wanted to go against the big guys. So if you saw one of the big guys loaded to sell, 500,000 shares of Microsoft, we wouldn't buy it. I'd say, oh, no, you don't want to buy it. They're selling. Or you don't want to, sell it. They're buying. And so this was our secret. This is why my room at the time was making millions of dollars, because they had access to see where the big guys were buying and selling. And you want to know something? This is what's moving the market, not the news, not the television, not our president. It is the dark pool trades that are done by the institutions. Simple. This is it. This is my secret. I'm going to share this with you guys today. In fact, I have been sharing this. It's really been my life's mission to travel across the country and outside of the country to teach as many people as I can. So in 2013, I was on tour with Larry Berman. Many of you probably know him if you're from Canada. He's got a show on BNN. I think it's every Monday. Berman's Call. He runs a $1 billion hedge fund. Yeah, he's done ETFs for Bank of Montreal. I was on 3 tours with Larry across Canada, so I got to, meet thousands of people and educate them on how to trade the dark pool. Then I went on tour with the Money Show and the Traders Expo, and every show I was living out of a suitcase, you guys. I was running. My best part about trading is that you can do it anywhere. So I had my laptop. I took it wherever I went. I traded, and I did live presentations for 6 years. 6 years. I'm not going to lie to you. I was exhausted. But I was helping so many people and meeting so many people. You know, trading could be a little lonely, so it was so great to get out there and actually meet traders and do these presentations. And it was like everybody wanted to learn about it. Here's one of my presentations at the Traders Expo, and you can see a lot of people in the audience. But here's the cool part. When I first started, 2013, there was maybe like 2 women in the audience. Like 2. And they were like forced to come with their husbands. They weren't really there to learn. But guess what? Over the years, women came up to me and they said, you know, Steph, the only reason I came is because you're a woman. And I figured, hey, if you can do it, maybe I could. And it's true. I didn't go to college and study global economics. I don't have a business degree. I have a psychology degree. And I think that helps you a lot more than a business degree in trading. It's just 90% of trading is psychology. But the coolest part is that I started this kind of movement of women coming into it, and then more women were teaching it. And, you know, look at all the women in the audience. You can see here's some women over there. Here's another woman here. Some I'm not sure if they're a woman or a man. I know there's a woman over here. I remember her. Here was another woman up in the front. So quite a few women started to come out, and it grew and grew, and it's just been amazing. And also my presentations grew. In fact, my last one, like, we didn't even have enough chairs in the room. People had to actually sit in the hallway. Everybody wanted to learn about the dark pool, and I don't blame them. I cannot trade without the dark pool, and I'm going to show you today why. But let me kind of tell you a little bit more about, you know, what it is. You know, we have some music here, I think. Oh, no, we don't. Oh, there we go. Little... So there's sharks in the dark pool. Big sharks in the dark pool. We want to swim with the sharks, all right, not against the sharks. So what is it? It really is not that mysterious. It's an alternative exchange where all the big guys do their orders, okay? Like that Instinet machine, that's the dark pool. It's just a separate exchange that most people, retail people, are not looking at. And why does it exist? Well, it existed for a few different reasons. First of all, it's been around forever. It used to be the upstairs room before computers came along. But it really exists for a couple of reasons. It gave the big institutions a platform where they didn't have to pay commissions. Now, I know today we don't have to pay commissions for most of us, right? And that's a great thing, but it wasn't always like that. I started trading, it was like $24.95 a ticket. Like $25 a ticket. That's crazy to go into a trade, right? And then 25 out. And then, of course, over the years, it started to go down, but it was always no commissions for Goldman Sachs, Barclays, right? JP Morgan. These are the biggest players in the dark pool. So they had a place they could do trades like 5 million shares and no commissions. And also, they had a place where nobody would see their trade until it was entirely done. So if they have 5 million shares to buy or sell, we didn't see any of it until it was completed. Yeah, that was huge. Could you imagine if you thought today, like, you know what, maybe I'm going to buy Apple, right? I'm going to buy Apple at $117. And all of a sudden, you looked into the dark pool and you saw that there was a massive seller of Apple at $117. Are you going to buy it? No, of course not. You're going to be like, you know what? I'm not buying until that guy leaves, right? Or gets executed. So that's why Goldman Sachs did his orders in this private exchange where like really nobody could see, is because he would get it done, 5 million shares, and then the next day it would tank and people go, I don't know why it went down. Well, we know why, because we could actually see Goldman Sachs selling it, but most of the people don't know why it moved down. And he got his entire order done at $117. And if we were able to see it, he never would have been able to sell it. Everybody would have ran over to the bid and sold it before he would have a chance. And this is what happened in the 90s. On the level 2 box, we could actually see Goldman Sachs's name, GSCO. And he was a specialist on certain stocks. And all we had to do was follow him, and we made a lot of money. It was really actually easy. You saw him selling massively on Sun W, and we would sell. We wouldn't go long. We'd actually short it if he was buying. On Microsoft, we would go long. And then he got smart, and he saw that we were watching him, and he started hiding his identity on the first ECN book called Island, and also the Internet Machine. I would see him all the time on the Internet Machine, but most people did not have that. So that's why a lot of people lose money in the market. They don't have this edge. They can't see where the institutions are doing it. So a big question that I get asked is, Stephanie, okay, so we have Goldman Sachs on one side of this trade, but isn't there somebody on the other? How do we know? Yeah, this doesn't make any sense. Well, this is how it happens. Yeah, there's one big guy on one side, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Barclays, but guess who's on the other side? He is, she is. All the little fish are on the other side of the trade. So my job is to help everybody get on the other side, following Goldman Sachs. He's really the big guy. Kind of feel like an ambulance chaser, right? Have any of you ever, now are you going to admit to this, have any of you ever followed an ambulance? You know, you were in traffic, you had to get somewhere, and the ambulance was really leading the way, and you just kind of got behind him in that lane and rode it? Anybody going to admit to that? I've done it, but it wasn't, I didn't cut the ambulance off. I literally just went behind him in the lane, right? Okay. This is what we do every single day. We literally get behind the Goldman Sachs ambulance, and they make the way, and we go higher or we go lower with him. And that's really how it works. So there are 4 different types of trades that the dark pool does. And I call them prints, because every buy and sell is printed in your time and sales window when it's completed. So I call them prints, except we look for the big prints. You know, I'm not looking for the small ones. I'm looking for the big ones. And I'm also looking for the unusual prints, because we get a lot of them. Yeah, I'll show you. My block trade indicator is full of prints all day, but I only pay attention to unusual ones. And that's really where my 26 years experience comes in of watching the dark pool. I know what's unusual, and it doesn't take you long to learn this. If you're in my room, literally takes you like 3 to 6 months, and you're a master at knowing what to pay attention to and what not. Because my students always ask me every day, Steph, what about this print? And I'll tell them, well, you know, on GE, we really want to see a lot more than 1 million. 1 million doesn't excite me. Or EM, it does not excite me. But a lot of stocks, 1 million shares does excite me, right? It is unusual. So these are just the things that you'll learn. But there are 4 different kinds. So the first one is the real-time prints. And I've actually put in the alert tab for you guys today, if you're in the webinar, of the real-time prints that were unusual this morning, so you can see what I'm talking about. And for you guys in the training pit, yeah, you're used to this every day, you're seeing them. Yeah, so the real-time prints are happening right now. The price of the trade is pretty much really close to the price of where the stock is trading. Yeah, now it could have been done 3 hours ago. They actually have 3 hours to report their trade once it's completed in the dark pool. That's another advantage. But give or take, we know it happened today because that price, it traded there today. So we call it real time. Now they're kind of sneaky about this. The best ones, okay, the best ones are during my lunch break. I never leave my desk. In fact, if I'm eating, I eat at my desk very, very carefully. I don't ever get up. Because during lunch, they think everybody, well, a lot of people do leave, right? How many of you leave during lunch? You guys leave during lunch? go out, run errands, and you put stops in. Okay. Yeah, if you move your webcam, by the way, you can see all the alerts. You can move it, you can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, put it anywhere you want if you're watching that. Okay, so they think everybody's out, okay? And that's why they give us the best prints during lunch. And this is why I don't get up. And I kind of feel some days are so ridiculously crazy, they just come right at me. They don't stop. I could barely, like as soon as I'm finishing typing one alert, another one's coming and another one. I kind of feel like this I Love Lucy episode where Ethel and Lucy get this job at the candy factory. And candy starts coming out, and at first they're doing okay, and then all of a sudden they start shoving it down their blouse, putting it in their hat, and putting it in her mouth. It was the funniest episode ever. This is me during lunchtime when the prints are coming on my block trade indicator. I could barely catch up to it. But here's the deal. Do not trade them today, okay? Do not trade them today. That's the secret. I'm giving you the holy grail of dark pool trading right here. Do not. You're going to want to. Oh, yeah. You're going to want to because you're going to think you know what they're doing, right? You can, oh, they're definitely buying or, oh, they're definitely selling. Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm wrong every time. I wait a couple days if I can, and then I jump in because what they do is big prints splash. It's like you're throwing a big boulder into the lake, right? Big splash, and it usually goes in the opposite direction of the true intended move. So if they're buying, they're going to move it down first. Yeah, get everybody out, and then they're going to push it up. Or if they're selling, they're going to push it up first and get everybody to buy it so that and then it's going to crash. And this has been happening forever, you guys. Like back in the day, there were these specialists, these guys that wore these like red jackets on the floor, and they had a million phones to their ears. I'm sure you've seen pictures of it. Now there's just computers on the floor of the exchange. But yeah, this guy was a specialist, and he made a market in like one particular stock. So we'll just say Apple, okay, for today's sake. Let's just say this guy, we'll call him Jeff, okay? Looks like a Jeff. Jeff gets a phone call from Goldman Sachs, okay? Goldman Sachs says, hey, Jeff, yeah, I want to buy Apple. Yeah, I want to buy like 1 million shares at $117, okay? Not a penny more. Can you do it, Jeff? And Jeff, of course I could do it. Come on. Who are you talking to, right? He hangs up the phone. And, they have like little planters, in the audience. Yeah, they totally do. And they have to make everybody believe that Jeff just got off the phone and Goldman Sachs wants to sell Apple, not buy Apple, but sell Apple. And they're all whispering in the crowd. And all of a sudden, everybody starts selling Apple. And Jeff has to become an actor and pretend that he's in pain with every sell order, and Apple's coming because he has to buy it. He has to take the other side of the trade. These days there are no market makers. Nobody's responsible to make a market. That's the scary part today. But back then, he had to. He had to take the other side. So they had to be manipulative. They had to make it look like Apple was going to go down. So everybody starts selling, and Jeff is like, oh, okay, fine, I'll take more Apple. It goes down, but guess what? Jeff bought all the way down to $116, 1 million shares. He calls up Goldman, you got your order done at $116.94. Like he makes it seem like he got a better price. Meanwhile, he bought it at $116, just sold it to Goldman for $116.94. He just made 94 cents on 1 million shares. Amazing, right? That is what's happening, you guys. Big prints have big splashes. So the massive, holy moly prints that I'll post from time to time, Those guys have the biggest splashes, or sometimes it could be days. Sometimes though, it's just 1 or 2 days, right? The bigger the print, usually the bigger the splash. It's not an exact science, but once you experience it, and I'm going to show you a few examples right now of these and how they splash, so you'll see. So here's an example on Uber. How many of you have traded Uber? Any Uber traders? Let's see. Yes, Andrew trades Uber. Anybody else? I've traded it. I'll show you. I traded it off this massive print that happened on August 12th, not too long ago. 8 million shares. Okay, 8 million. Hold on. Alexa, how much is 8 million multiplied by $31.40?
8 million times 31 US dollars and 40 cents is 251,200,000 US dollars.
$251 million. I don't know about you guys, but I don't exactly have that in my back pocket.
$1 million is 846,740 euros and 5 cents.
Just in case you live in Europe. Thank you, Alexa. But look at the...
You bet.
Look at the
Enjoy the sunshine.
Look at the look at the time of the print. She's really getting like spunky. Look at the time, 12:23 in the afternoon, you guys. Is that lunchtime? Yeah, they didn't think anybody's gonna see this big whopper print come in during lunch, right? Well, look at that. I did, and this is my tweet. So if you have my Dark Pool app, you saw this. You could not have missed it if you're in the Java pit, the training pit. Yeah, everybody saw this. Holy moly. Whenever I put holy moly, pay attention. It means it's going to have a big splash. Wait extra long to get into this trade. $31.40. And I give you bullish above, bearish below, kind of for splash purposes. Personally, I like to enter on a retest of the print. So if it goes down and then it goes up and it retests the print and goes above it, that's when I like to enter. Or if it splashes around, I like to enter close to the print as I can. And because of course it's gonna splash. And let me show you, it did. So right here is when we had the print, right? August 12th, 8 million. And you can see it splashed all the way down to 28.50. That is a big splash, you guys. $3. $3, but so it's really big for Uber. Then it went up after the splash. Right? So here it finally went above the print. I actually missed that entry. Yeah, I was busy. Sometimes I trade other things. I missed it, but guess what? I caught it on the retest. When it came back down, I watched it and then it started to move up again. Here's what I did. How many of you trade options? Now you could have bought the stock, but options are such a better vehicle. Okay, they're such a better vehicle as far as risk, because what if, I always say, okay, well, what if I'm on the wrong side of the tape? You know, that does happen sometimes, right? I don't want to risk a lot, but I really think it's important to learn and master stocks first. I was a stock trader for 22 years before I got into options, and that's my secret. That's why I do very well, because I know exactly how stocks trade, and I buy out of the money options. Yeah, most people will tell you to buy in the money, it's safer, etc. Their timing is not that great, and they're not following the dark pool. Because timing is everything with options. Yeah, you don't want to run out of time, and you have to know a big move is coming, and the only way you know that is when you have dark pool prints. So on September 9th, okay, so the prints happened what? On August 12th, right? And I did not enter this trade until a month later. Now I could have entered over here. I missed it. I should have. Yep, I should have entered here. I missed it. But that's okay. I still caught this trade a little bit later. I bought the 40 calls, you guys, on the 9th. Actually, right here. I bought it on this day. Okay, I bought the 40 calls at 10:28 in the morning, and this is a post from the Java Pit Trading Room, which is really great. I post all my trades in the alert tab. It makes a cha-ching sound so the traders know they can follow along. And so I bought these 40 calls for $11 a contract. Now, first of all, these were $8 out of the money, and people thought I was a little crazy. I might have been a little bit crazy, but come on, 8 million. And it's not my target, 40. I'm using it as a vehicle. For me, it's about the risk. I only wanted to risk $11 a contract. That's it. That was what I wanted to risk. I couldn't lose anything more than that, but I can gain a lot more. So I got out of half of them the next day. It started to move up, as you can see, right? So I got out 15 cents on half, and then later on in the afternoon, I got out of another quarter at 19 cents, and then I got out of my last 22 cents. Yeah, so I made almost 100, I made probably like 75% ROI on this trade, which is not bad for one day, right? One day, patience, waiting for the right moment. Because what happened after that is it's all about time. I didn't have too much time. This was next week's expiration. I did not, and they were so far out of the money that I really didn't have that much time on my side. I had to be aggressive getting out into strength. So in my room, just to show you that my traders thought I was nuts, you can see Calvin called out, "Hello, are you swinging Uber?" See this? Are you swinging Uber 40 calls? Like, did you make a mistake, Stephanie? Sniper knows, so she just followed me, Lil. And then this trader, Dwayne, said, "Did you consider the delta on the Uber calls?" It was really low delta. I just considered my risk, and I knew my timing was perfect. So again, that's how I like to trade them. I don't usually go that far out, but in this case I did. But they all followed me regardless. Chester, and then Calvin got a little nervous the next day. Can you look at the Uber calls from yesterday? Whenever traders say that, they're a little nervous. Lorraine made 100% on hers. Scotty he did the 38 calls. Interesting. I think he did a different expiration. He made 25%. Reggie followed me into 40 calls. I think he bought the wrong week. He still made money though. Some of them messed it up a little bit, but let's see. Chester, Ed, Reggie, Lana. Yeah, so following me is the best way to learn how to trade. I mean, this is how I learned how to trade. I learned how to trade from my boss. I literally watched him every day as he talked his way through his trades, why he was getting in, why he was getting out, and that's how I learned, you know. But what amazes me is so many people think they can learn this by themselves. Like I would have never been able to do this by myself. I would have lost a lot of money. But people do. They just open up an account and they just start trading, thinking, "Oh, I'll catch on. I'll get this." I am like a really great dentist. You know, I went to dental school. This is what people think in their head. I went to dental school and I got honors. Trading should be a piece of cake, right? No. Doctors, lawyers. I mean, it doesn't matter where you went to school and what you did. Trading is a totally different career, and you have to treat it seriously. You have to learn from somebody who's been around the block, have a mentor, you know, and learn from somebody that's successful. It's going to teach you while they're trading. So here are some recent dark pool prints that my traders have profited off of recently. So here's one on plug. So on September 24th, this was my alert in the dark pool app and of course the trading rooms. All right, the dark pool was buying, but look what they did. They splashed it down. Now this was not like massive like the Uber, but it was still 1.5 million. But you can see they splashed it down. The actual trade was at $11.44, and they moved it down to $10.92, right? And then they moved it up the next day, and that's when you want to go in. All right, it splashed down first, and then it went up. In fact, it went up 66% ROI in just 9 trading days. Now here's the thing. This is just the stock. I just showed you that last example of options where I made 100% in one day, right? You could have made a lot more than 66% on these options, but just showing you the stock and how it moved. That's why I love options. SQ is another recent one. On September 24th, we had a 500,000 print, which is a decent print. I put large when it's notable. Like, hey, take note of this. It's not the biggest print I've seen, but definitely it's going to move the stock, which it did. Okay, dark pool is buying, and it went up 22% gains in 12 trading days. And this one didn't splash. Did not. It doesn't always splash, especially if it's not very large or massive. Okay, it may splash a little bit during the day, but doesn't necessarily mean it's going to really go the other direction. Here's another great one on purple. Dark pool app, 9/22, September 22nd. We had unusual print. When I say unusual, it means that we like never get prints on this. Something is going on with purple. And dark pool was buying, and it didn't splash either. Unusual prints don't splash as much. Just letting you know, little tips. But I still wait. We had 38% gains in like 19 days on purple. Here's another one, Nikola. This one splashed. So very large, 450,000 prints at 34.45. And you can see over the next 3 days, it kind of went up and down a little bit, right? And then it crashed. See that? Yeah, that's the usual pattern usually. 112% gains in 6 days just on the stock. CNQ, Canadian Natural. Here we had a massive, okay, there, when I put massive, it's usually going to have a really big move, but this is pretty voluminous stock. So the dark pool was selling, they pushed it up and closed it strong at the end of that day. See that? And then they took it down. That was a splash. 16% gains in 12 days. ACIW. This one didn't splash. It went straight up. Because it was unusual. See that? Large unusual print? Yeah, it's weird. Just seems to be the pattern when it's unusual. And 24% gains in 18 days. So I will not personally take a trade unless I see dark pool buy or sell prints. I do not jump into any trades without the dark pool. It's my holy grail. You guys want to see some more? Of course you do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Okay, look at this Alcoa. Dark pool app alert on September 15th. And by the way, these go out on your phone. I'll show you my app if you don't have it already. Now, if you're in the trading pit, you have them. Yeah, but they go out on the phone, and it'll send out a little push notification. It'll can make a bleeping sound, like Matthew's phone just went out. It can make a bleeping sound, and it pops right up there so you know there's a new alert. But here's a 400,000 share print, 1405, and this one pretty much went straight down on Alcoa. 25% gains in 13 days. Here's another one on Twitter. Now, Twitter, kind of called the dirty bird because it is so extra splashy and wiki and crazy. I mean, you could see what it did. Look what it did. It literally made a crazy splash. Came up thrusted. They're buying. No, they're selling. No, they're buying. Once it starts to go, though, it's good. But it's an extra crazy stock. Dark pool bought. It went up 17% gains in 7 days. Here's another one. This is an unusual one. So unusual one, it kind of hung out and hovered, and then it crashed. Oil and gas. It's a $2 stock, okay? Had a 1 million print. You could see the volume also, right? Like, here's the volume. It normally trades 600,000 shares a day. So what do you think 1 million in one trade is going to do? Yep. it's going to crash. It went down huge, 33% in 11 days. Yeah, a lot. Here's one more on Volley. This was a massive 8 million print. It splashed quite a bit, up and down a little bit, and then it crashed. 12% gains in 12 days. Up one more on Apache. Here was a 10 million print. Now we do get 10 million prints. Yep. It was massive, but I wouldn't say unusual. We've seen quite a few of them. And it kind of likes to hover and then go down, which is what it did. 25% gains. And that was just in 14 days. Okay. Is there any questions on the real-time prints before I move to the other kind of dark pool prints? Let's see. Any questions on what I just covered? Okay. Tom has a question. Is the dark pool up for day or swing trading? So it is mostly day trading. However, these massive prints, as you can see, this is swing trading. Yeah, but you have to know not to get into them right away. This is why I'm doing this webinar, to teach you guys to wait. If you want to swing it, okay, we day trade them, but we know it's in splash territory because we just know it's going to move. But you do not want to try to guess the direction for a couple days. Now for swing trading, I do have a really, really great subscription called Dark Pool Insights that I'll show you at the end. That's for swing trading. That's my homework that I do. These are the trades that I personally will take. Yep, and I'll show you. Yeah, I can show you a little snippet of it. So where would you enter on prints that don't splash? So Nemanja, we don't know. Okay, like I don't know if it's going to splash or not, but I like to wait a couple days. Yep. And again, I know that certain stocks splash more than others. For example, American Airlines, we did so well on that because it had a certain characteristic trait. We would have these massive prints, and we would actually put a strangle on, and we would make money on both sides because the splash was enormous. But that just was for American Airlines. Matthew, can you put the air on a little bit? Thanks. So that's the key. This is experience. So I know you're new with me, Nemanja. So yeah, just give me a couple months, and you will know. You will know all the answers. You have to experience this. Like I can tell you all this, and it's great. But the only way for you to truly master trading is to have experience. The one thing I can't give you. I can say, hey, this is going to happen, but until you really experience it quite a few times, and you go, oh, okay, now I understand what she's talking about. Now I get it. That's where you're going to get to. All right, so there's a couple other things that we look at, but this is really crucial. So let's move on to, okay, perfect. Yeah, you're going to get it. Okay, you have an up target, but it seems they hit it and then go down. Yeah, so again, Tim, that's not where I get into the trade. After a few days, if it stays above the prints, it's bullish. If it goes below the prints, it's bearish. Now, sometimes I get in and I'm on the wrong side and I get out. Okay, and I get to the right side of the trade. That's the key. If you're constantly getting in the wrong side, you're entering too early. Okay, that's just you just wait a week. Okay, I like to trade last week's prints this week. Okay, that's what my dark pool insights are. I scour all the trades because we miss a lot of good ones during the day. But we have a project that has all the prints in it. I look through it, and then I map out new trades for next week. So on Saturdays, I'm looking at last week's prints, and I'm mapping out trades for the following week. And those are the best ones to take. Okay, so the training pit covers swing trading, correct? Yep, it covers swing trading, yeah, and day trading. The most important thing, my secret to swing trading is learning how to day trade. Yeah, so you should be practicing on paper, stocks. Okay, practice over and over and over again. And then you're going to want to go to options, because options they're the bomb. They're the best ever. But you have to really master the stock first. Once you go to options, you don't need a big account. So you really have to focus. I know a lot of you are new. Focus on just paper trading the stocks. Okay, do my whispers. Practice day trading them. Every single, make sure you're following the rules and all that good stuff, but just practice. I practiced 2 years. I learned how to trade in 2 years. I didn't do one trade until my second year. And then I did really, really well. My boss, Scotty, you know, he moved to Florida. We were in New York. He moved to Florida because they offered him a great position there. I mean, he had his own big office there. The firm really moved. They had many offices, one in New York, one in Florida, one in Manhattan. So one on Long Island, the city, and Florida, and Boca Raton. And he didn't want to pay New York state tax. So he's like, I'm moving to Florida. I'm going to go trade out of that office. They're giving me this. They're giving me that. And the firm would give you everything, your own internet machine, all your Bloomberg terminal. Like they wanted good traders because, you know, they were doing a lot of commissions, a lot of money to be made on those $25 a ticket commissions. So I thought I was going to be out of a job, and Howard, my boss, calls me down to his office. He's like, did you hear, you know, Scotty's leaving? And I said, I know, I got to find another job now. And he's like, oh, no, we'll give you money. We want you to trade. And I was like, really? Oh, yeah, you know what you're doing. You were trained by Scotty. And I was like, okay, we'll give you $250,000. Yeah, no problem. You want more money? We'll give you more money. And I just stood there for like 5 minutes, like, pinch me. You know, I was like, I just never, ever even expected that I was going to be a prop trader. You know, I was happy being Scotty's assistant and just, you know, being there in the atmosphere and helping him out. And yeah, this was huge, life-changing. And so I said, fine. And then, you know, as soon as Scotty left, there I was. They gave me everything. And I did really, really well. And the only reason I'm telling you this story is because everybody trades before they should. I want to say 98% of you, 98% are trading with real money, and you are not ready. Okay? You are not ready. Not ready to trade yet. And you don't want me telling you this. I know you want to gamble. I want to make money. I need to make money. That's what everybody tells me. Oh, if I don't have any skin in the game, Stephanie, then I'm not going to no, okay? Keep your skin, okay, on your body, all right? Because take this seriously, or you're going to lose your money. I don't want you learning with real money. You can learn plenty later, but really make sure you master a system. It's not gambling. It's just math. It's a mathematical equation. When you come into my boot camp, I teach you how to map these out, and you'll see it really is a mathematical equation, and you need to master that. Okay, so don't be all stuck up with, can I do this? Can I do that? I need to get a broker. I need to do this. No, you need to learn first. I have a lot of traders that come in, and they learn that this is not for them. They didn't lose any money. They came in and they said, oh, I just can't do this. I can't sit down all day. I don't want to do this. I don't want to watch the stocks. This is like, and that's great. Guess what? They didn't lose any money. And then I have traders that come in and they don't listen to me, right? And they start trading before they've even taken the classes. They're doing things, they have no idea what they're doing. And they lose all their money. They say, oh, I'm sorry, I lost all my money. And I said, well, you shouldn't even be trading it. I'll tell you when you're ready. And I know. I could tell you in my trading room which traders are ready and which traders aren't, because they call out their trades. And the ones that are calling out trades that I'm taking are the ones that are ready to trade. And that's the key. So please treat this with respect. You know, we get a bad rap because there's so many people out there. I mean, I just had a girlfriend of mine, I had lunch with her, and she's like, oh yeah, I'm trading, I'm buying this and I'm buying that. And I'm going, oh my God, okay, whatever. No idea what they're doing, those people. So I'm glad you guys came here to learn about the dark pool, but just keep in mind, I can't teach you everything in one day. I'm going to teach you a lot. So the next thing I'm going to teach you is is late dark pool buy prints. And I promise I'll answer your questions when I'm done. Late dark pool buy prints. What are these late prints? Now I know I told you that most trades could be 3 hours late, but these are not the ones I'm talking about. Yeah, these have a special signature share size. Yep, we call them the Levi's. Yep, we got the 501, we got the 502. They start with 501,000. 502,000. So it could be like 501, 654, 502, 984. Could be anything, but they start with 501, 502. Then we started getting 503s. I mean, we've had 504s. We've actually had some 505s. And we call them the Levi's, right? Would you call them the Levi's? There's the Levi. Now, you know there's Levi's Stadium, right? In Santa Clara. Well, we always assume it's Goldman Sachs doing these big institutional trades. It's Goldman Sachs. Well, guess what? Goldman Sachs financed Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. They also financed the IPO, but this is the signature share size. They're very tied with Levi's. And Gus Levi, he developed the block trade indicator for Goldman Sachs back in the 70s. Yeah, all coincidences. So when I wrote my book a couple of years ago, again, I told you my traders didn't want me writing the book. I shared this information to watch for trades that are 500,000 and higher, right? Especially the Levi's. And I shared to watch the NASDAQ 410 and the Russell 251. This is the signature share size. After my book came out, they changed it. Most of the trades now on the SPY are half Levi's. It's okay, we're still on to them, but that was really sneaky. In fact, the last crash in February, the big one, that one, they used like mostly half Levi's, but we were scanning for them. So these trades are not today's trades. That's why we call them late buy prints. They actually happened yesterday. Well, yeah, if yesterday was Monday, they happened yesterday. If it's Monday, it happened on Friday, right? They did not happen today. Why? The price is not today's price. Like, we didn't even trade there today. Now, I used to see these on my time and sales window. I'd have the SPY window up, and I'd see these yellow. I color-coded them yellow for below the bid. That's how I knew if I could see a late buy print. And I started seeing these yellow prints, and they were always started with 501, 502. I'm like, what is this? See, this is a code. This is definitely a code. And then some days they got really, really heavy, and some days we maybe got a couple of them. And it killed me because I knew it was illegal. I knew you had to report your trade the day that you did it. But I also knew we were making a lot of money on this because when they got heavy, I knew the dark pool was up to something big. When they're late buy prints, we were going to go up big. Late sell prints, I'm going to show you in a minute, we're going to go down big. So even though it was so manipulating and so illegal, we still profited off of it. But it still bothered me. So I would kind of ask around a little bit, how is this possible? And so I asked Larry Berman, who I was on tour with, because he's so big in the industry. Larry, how are they doing this? And he goes, I'll find out for you. So here I am in Florida at the ETF conference, and Larry's there. All the people from the Bank of Montreal are there. And I get invited to this dinner for the Bank of Montreal. And they pick me up in this huge, Humvee limo, okay? Big Humvee limo. And all the bankers are piling into this thing. And I'm squeezed into the back of it. And Larry's 2 seats over there. And he's tell her. He's motioning to this younger guy. Tell her. She really wants to know. And I'm going, what do I want to know? And he goes, well, Larry says you want to know about those prints, those late prints. How is it possible? And he says, there's a loophole. Really? Yeah, there's a loophole. If Goldman Sachs does a trade from their New York desk and they cross the trade with their London desk, or vice versa, they do not have to report this trade for 24 hours. Do you guys know about this loophole? You can't even find this. If you search for it, you'll see my work. You're not going to find anybody else talking about it. When I was writing my book, I had to go through this lawyer who, like, everything I wrote had to be, I have to have proof of everything. I mean, I handed a whole big stack of stuff when I was writing it. And I'll never forget, he calls me one day. He's like, Steph, I can't find it anywhere. I'm like, what? What are you looking for? That they could do these trades that are 24 hours late. And I'm like, I know. It's a loophole. Yeah, but I like, where is it? Like, I only can find that they can post it before 8 a.m. That's the only thing on the books. Is before 8 a.m. you'll see those market on close orders from yesterday. But these trades are happening all day. I'm going to show you in a minute. And he's like, I just can't find anything. You know, I need to have like proof of it. I go, he's like, maybe I should get that guy's book, Scott Patterson's Dark Pool book. I'm going, look, it took every ounce of energy, okay, to hold back from screaming at my lawyer. Like, look, Scott doesn't have it in his book. I gave you pictures of these trades. You could see they didn't happen that day. This is your proof, Dodo. I was like, look, it's right here. I'm the one exposing this. This has not been exposed yet. And silence. And then he starts laughing, and then he apologizes. I am so sorry. Oh my gosh, you're right, obviously. And he felt like an idiot. I'm like, obviously it's not out there. I'm exposing that they're doing this. And I have proof. I have pictures. I mean, I literally sent him 10 corrections, okay, at the time. I called like 12 at the time. That's or 18. 10 of them. And I said, here, look at these trades. You can see the price didn't trade there that day. It's happening. And I'm sharing with you a secret I heard from a floor trader from the Bank of Montreal, that there's a loophole. So he, you know, it was okay. But I mean, nobody knew about this and how they can get away with it. So let me show you how we knew it was the end of the crash, the big crash, right? February, big COVIDs, the whole world shut down, right? And the market starts to rally. Well, why? It's not like we came up with a cure, a vaccine yet. Things were still shut down, but guess who was buying? The dark pool. Yeah, the dark pool was buying heavy. So we went down and we crashed until like March 23rd. And then we started to bounce up, and everybody's like, well, is this a dead count bounce, right? Is this going to be a dreaded H? Not when the dark pool starts to buy, which they started buying right there on April 6th. How do I know? I'm going to show you. All right, ready for this? This is the best. All right, late dark pool buy prints on April 6th. They started at 9:55 a.m. Past that 8 a.m. window that you're allowed to do it, right? And look how they came in all day. And see how they start with 502,000? And then they half them, 251, 251, 251. Then they threw in a couple 502s. They only thought we were looking for the 502s. But nope, we scanned for all of those trades at $248.16, okay? Rounded off to 17 cents. Look where the SPY was trading when that first trade popped on my block trade indicator, okay? $10 higher. Yeah, the SPY's up here. Oh, by the way, we bought yesterday and all day long, bing, 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 bing. This is just one slide, you guys. Wait, this is only till 11:52. Wait, look at all these coming in all day long. Lunchtime, and the SPY is climbing up higher. It's at 261, 262, 263. See that? We're not done. We have another slide from that day. Look at all these. Coming in droves. And we went higher. 263, 264, 265. Late dark pool buy prints all day long on my block trade indicator. In fact, I added them up. 19 million late dark pool buy prints at $248.16 is $4 billion, you guys. $4,712 million. Now you tell me who has this kind of money? Who has this money, right? I don't have it. You don't have it. That's Goldman Sachs right there buying the bottom of this market. And you know what they do? They put out bearish things on media. Yeah, don't put the television on. The world's coming to an end. Don't buy this market. We're going to have a recession. All these bad things. So people are scared to buy, and they are buying. And this is why precisely my television is off. I haven't watched TV in over a year. And I don't listen to any of that. I just literally wait for these late prints to come in. And that's how we know they're buying. All right, so we have late sell prints. Is there any questions on the late buy prints before I move on to the sell prints? So Royza, why do you know they're late prints? And I believe I went over there because the price wasn't trading there. It didn't trade there that day, and they were coming in all day long. It was from the day before. I think we're pretty good, right? Yeah, Goldman Sachs has 1.5 trillion under management. Thank you, Paul, for that information. Yep, they move the market. When they buy, it goes up. When they sell, it goes down. And then the news has to come up with a story to follow it. That's how it works, guys. Yeah, it's pure and simple. You know, Charles Payne, he wrote a book with the same marketing team that I used, and he told them, you know, of course, privately, now it's public, he told them that the hardest part of his job, and he's on Fox Business, hardest part is finding the news story to go along with the market. Okay? That's why we don't follow the news, we follow the prints, and yeah. Okay, let's go to late sell prints. Yep, so I've called every single major market correction because of that same signature. So this is the last correction we had. I mean, I've called everyone. Each workshop I have has a different correction in it. But this is just for the last correction that they were selling September 1st. Yeah, September 1st. So it was light. So we keep track of all these Levi's, right? So on August 21st, we only got 4 million, and I showed you that 19 million they were buying. That's a big level, right? But it was really light. 4 million, 3 million, 2 million, 2 million, 2, 5. Okay, we're getting heavier. Something's going on. 7. Okay, we're getting heavier. And it wasn't just on the SPY. It was on the Russell and the Qs as well. I'm just showing you a small sliver today. But we'll just focus on the SPY because they got heavier. And you can see these 501s. Except this time, right, we were still trading higher. Slightly. 350.77. So what I like to do is I like to use it as a marker. And if we go below it, that's when we put protection on. It wasn't like the heaviest. It wasn't like the crash in February. They literally sold, by the way, in February. They sold for a couple months. We started to see them selling in November. Yep, November, December, January. They unloaded big time. But they kept pushing it higher to sell more. And then they crashed it. And we knew it was going to be bigger than anything because the longer they take to sell, the bigger the crash. So this wasn't massive, but this was enough to have it, whatever it was, 7 to 10% correction. And so you'll see on September 3rd, when we went below that print level, I wrote SPY, bearish below, dark pool 349.83. I would recommend putting on protection if we close below. And we did. and the market went down, all the way to 320. Yeah. So again, it's about seeing when these prints get heavier, and that's really the secret. All right, so we have one more type of dark pool print. So at the end of the day, there's always new traders, and I saw a couple of you guys in the training pit do this. Steph, see the print on Apple, see the print on this, and those are all market on close prints. So there's a lot of hedge funds that they do not hold overnight. So right at the end of the day, they just sell. It doesn't give us a bias. It's not like those prints that are in the middle of the day. Those give us the bias. That's what we pay attention to. Now, once in a while, there's something really heavy market on close. Okay, it's unusual, but I gotta say, like 99% of the time, I don't even look at them. All right, just the sneaky ones in the middle of the day. Now, if you have my app, then you know all about it. But if you don't have my Dark Pool app and you're not in the training pit, it's really easy to get. You just go to the Apple store, search for Dark Pool, and you'll see it pop up. That's exactly what it looks like on the App Store to the left, and the Google Play Store. You download it, and then it gives you a button to subscribe. What you get in the Dark Pool app is you get the Whisper of the Day videos. Every morning I will post up a video, but I also, let me just show you today's. I'll also give you a picture, and I'll post these individually, of all my daily whispers. I give you levels for the SPY, the Russell, the Qs, the E-minis, the NASDAQ futures, the oil futures. This is all before the market opens. The gold futures, this is where I get my 90% success rate. And here's the stocks for Apple, NEO, Tesla was a great short today, hit quite a few targets. PG, IBM hit all my targets. BAC, JKS hit all my targets on the upside already. Snap, ACI. These are my whispers today. I give you bullish above, bearish below with all the targets. If you're in the training pit, you get to watch me doing this, of course. Which is great, and get to kind of learn that. And also you get all the push notifications that I showed you today, right, sent to your phone. And it's awesome. It's $19 and like 99 cents a month. Yeah, it's really awesome. If you don't want to do the work, you don't have the experience, you don't know what's unusual, you don't want to sit here all day watching the prints, you just want me to sit here and do all the work for you, that's really great. If you want to take it to the next level and start to learn how I do this, I highly recommend the training pit. I know a lot of you are already in it, so that's great. You came to a great place. But for those of you that are not, we do have some amazing instructors. We have Paul, who is our alien. We got Jane, who we call lots of things. Jungle Jane, Amazon Jane, Airplane Jane. And we have Jay the, what do we call him? Jay the Trader? Jay the Trader. He used to work for American Airlines, as many of you know. He was retired, and now I put him back to work as our instructor. He teaches how to put the dark pool on your computer, how to open up your software, how to set it up properly, how to do trades, Thinkorswim. He does Schwab. He'll teach you TradeStation, Tastyworks. If there's any other ones that he teaches. But Paul will teach you really great strategies, how to draw channel trend lines, options, enteritis, exititis, how to trade the whispers. He's like one of our best day traders, phenomenal. And and he loves to teach you guys how he does it. And Jane, spectacular. Jane will focus on TradingView software. She'll also focus on what? Interactive brokers. That's right. She added that to her repertoire. And she teaches a lot about preparing for trading, a lot of psychology, she's amazing. I teach every Wednesday in the training pit, and this is where all of our traders start. They start in the training pit learning about the dark pool. And this is where you can see, like, is this what I want to do? Do I really love this? Can I see myself doing this every day? And it's great. Every day we have live presentations. Every day I share my screen. You see me doing my whisper of the day, and you can ask questions throughout the day. And it just you learn so much. The training pit is great. It's $99.97 a month. If you want to take it to the next, first of all, before I get to that, this is just a schedule of what we are teaching this week. I switched my day today to the dark pool. Jay's doing tomorrow, but he's doing Street Smart Edge this week. And these are all the topics that we're teaching next month. He's doing Think or Swim next month. Paul's doing the oil. Paul does option 1, 2, and 3, so you can learn how to trade options as well. So yeah, really, really awesome stuff. I always do bullish above, bearish below, no thinking. Where it's just a live presentation on the whispers and how I mapped it out, trades we've taken, trades I'm looking at throughout the day. And you get all the alerts in the alert tab. So you don't need the app if you're in the training pit. You get everything there first. If you want to take it to the another level of swing trading, again, I do that video, the Dark Pool Insights, which is great. It's like a 20-minute video newsletter on the weekends. And let me just see if I can just pull up one that, hold on, that I did for last week. See if I can, here it is, hold on. Here it comes. Yeah, just kind of show you a couple of slides in it. Like swing trading into earnings could be dangerous. I show you where the dark pool is. I map out trades, giving you levels to take and so forth. I show you seasonality, show you futures, show you trades, and so forth. Just running you, this is fast motion. All right, PayPal, Micron, that had some news yesterday, Oracle, and so forth. CRM. So I pretty much do all the work for you in the Insights, and it's $37 a month for the Dark Pool Insights. And I give it out on Saturdays. And at the end, there's one last slide that has all the trades in it. So you can literally just go right there, take pictures, and get prepped. Or you could do the work yourself. It takes me about 10 hours a week to do that. Those are the trades that I personally take. Now, if you want to trade with me in the dark pool, that is our Java Pit trading room. It's an advanced trading room. You can't just come right in. Again, we really feel that all the traders should start in the training pit first. But if you want more information on that, you can go ahead and shoot me an email. Stephanie@thedarkpools.com. I do 2 meetings a day there. And I trade live and teach. We have other traders in the room that are phenomenal. We all work together, calling things out. You know, we're all on the same team pretty much. And a lot of my traders have been with me for 10 years. And we'll probably be together forever doing this. For as long as I can, really. I don't ever see myself not doing this. This is, really my love. So I do want to thank you for attending today's webinar. If you do have any questions that I didn't cover, you can send me an email, but I will answer some right now. Stephanie@thedarkpools.com. Just make sure you put an F there for Stephanie. Okay. So let me just answer some questions. Oh, and I'll give you the link. If you just go to www.thedarkpools.com, you'll see all under services. Yeah, the insights, where to sign up, the training pit, and all that good stuff. Let's see. So what are the hours for the classes? Is that boot camp? Or which classes are you talking about? Oh, the training pit, 11 o'clock Eastern. So we start 11 o'clock and go to about 1, sometimes 2 o'clock, and they're all recorded. Yeah, they're all recorded, so if you cannot make it real time, you can just go right into the room. You go into the room drive, and you can download the presentations at the end of the day. But the best part about being there live is you can ask questions during the presentations. Yeah, and you know what? I'm just gonna give you guys a link for it. Yeah, just give me a sec. It'll take you straight to the page. You can read more about it. And okay, there you go. Okay, so there it is in the webinar. Yep. Okay, so without extra software, could I function? Yeah, so Pinterest, you don't need to have the software. I have everything for you. You know, I pretty much, yeah, I have let me show you what I have. I mean, I literally keep this up. Yep, I keep up my block trade indicator on my screen all day long. This is from Schwab, by the way. You can get it yourself. Don't ask them about the dark pool. But, you know, the key is knowing which prints you should pay attention to and which ones are, you know, are going to move, which ones are more important than others. But, you know, I have it set up 50,000 shares. I really have 400,000 and higher. I have the major index, ETFs, Bull and Bear, and the FANG stocks over there. I have gold, silver, natural gas, oil over here. And it's really under launch tools on the Street Smart Edge platform. This is what I use, block trade indicator. But you don't have to, if you live outside the US, you can't get it, but I share it on my screen in both my trading rooms. The training pit sees my screen all day, and so does the Java pit. So Greg, bullish or bearish levels for swing trades, are they market close or intraday? So for swing trading, Greg, I highly suggest you wait until the end of the day. Yeah, you don't want to swing trade in the morning because you can have a giant up thrust candle. That's day trading. So we do two different kinds. I will day trade my insights and I will also swing them. This is where rules come in, and you need to know when to day trade, when to swing trade. There's different rules for both of them. And I did discuss that in the Dark Pool Insights a couple weeks ago. I literally run you through different examples of when to day trade, what I look for, what to swing trade. And when you sign up for the Insights, you get over a year's worth of videos. You can literally go back, and there's so much education in there. I mean, I try to teach as much as I can. You know, when I'm doing it, I show you trades I've taken, trades I might be looking at. I show you how I roll my options, literally showing you examples of on the chart of when I rolled it, when I took profit. And then I give you all new trade setups for the next week. My traders in the Java pit say it's like the best thing ever. I'm literally doing the work for them, you know, mapping out the trades. They already know how to trade. So just jumping in. The TX Newswire, that's the tradeexchange.com. Just go to Trade Exchange, TRADE. Tradeexchange.com. Believe that should get you there. Yep, that's really great. It's the only news that I will watch. Yeah. So, how long do people usually spend in the training pit before moving on? We rotate. That's a good question, Jason. We rotate the classes every 2 to 3 months. So most traders are usually ready 2 to 3 months. They're ready to move on, or they're ready to say, you know what, it's not for me, this is great. And we respect both. You can't push somebody into trading as a career. Trust me, I mean, I have 2 kids. They're not trading. they're grown adults. They don't want to do this. I don't ever push it on anybody. You have to really be so passionate about it. It's in your blood. I mean, how many of you here today and in the training pit would say that this is it, this is what you want to do? You know, you are number 10 passionate about trading, right? How many of you? If you're not, go find something that you're passionate about. Really, I'm honestly telling you the truth. If it's not, it's great to investigate this. This is why you're here, right? I'm going to see what this is about, see if I can maybe do this, wrap my head around this. And I always say, if I could do it, yeah, anybody can. But I didn't do it overnight. It took, it took a year. My first year was tough. I didn't know anything about the market. I literally just was hired because I'm a good worker and I needed a job, and I wanted a job, and I said, yes, okay, I'll be your assistant. But it was a year of coming into the office on Saturdays. I used to go in there and I used to study. I used to look at, the scanning machine, the charts. I was obsessed. I used to find stocks because we used to trade sectors. We're mostly swing traders. So we used to trade sectors. And I'd find all the stocks that were in the semiconductor ETF that traded at least 1 million shares a day, and then I would import those into our scanning machine at the time, so we'd have more trades to take. And I became so obsessed searching stocks every single weekend, but I loved it. Like, I just, and then the next week I'd find great trades because of my hard work. And so that's really what it's about. If you don't, then it's okay. And you could be passionate about more than one thing. But the most successful traders in my room are the ones that are always there. They're like, can't wait. They're waiting for me in the morning. And when I come in the room at 3 a.m. Today I was there actually earlier. I woke up before my alarm clock. I live on the West Coast, actually Vegas, close to the West Coast. But yeah, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm excited to see what the futures are doing, and that's how I know I'm in the right place. If you dread it, it's not going to be for you. And you have to be emotionally stable. Now, I have a psychology background, so I do help my traders with a lot of psychological stuff because it does stem into your trading. And then if you become a more emotionally stable trader, guess what? It stems into your real life. All of a sudden, your relationships are getting better, your mood is better, you're controlling yourself better, you're more disciplined, more patient. And yeah, it stems both ways. So I think that's the best part of my job is really just helping people in more than one way. So let's see, Greg loves the insights, especially when they come out early on Saturday. I try. I had to come out on Friday, Greg, because my traders have been helping me, or letting me do it, I should say, letting me do it on Fridays in the Java Pit. Yep. I work on it on Fridays. This way it's out early for you. And trust me, I like it because my Saturdays are free. I don't know what that's like. I've been working on the weekends for so long, so it's nice to have that free. Let's see. I think I covered pretty much of the things. Yeah, if you have any other questions, again, feel free just to shoot me an email if I did not cover or missed anything. But yeah, I want to thank you all for coming out today and learning a little bit about the dark pool. I do these free webinars from time to time and try to teach different things. You'll notice the slides are all new. I never use like the same trade slides. Put a lot of work and effort because I want to show you that my system works all the time, not like last year or 3 years ago. It's always working. So yeah, thank you for coming out, and hopefully I will see some of you in the training pit soon. All right, take care, everybody.